Hi Lee, it's me, Matt. I say it's me, Matt, like you know who I am, when in actual fact you have already told me you have no idea who I am. Well, I'm no one really. I write horror books for a living. I make some feature films occasionally. I make some short films. Pretty much most of the time I just kind of wallow in my own self-loathing and pity in my home, not really going anywhere. And therein lies a bit of a problem, because you yourself have reached out to me asking me to like take you to a sports game or take you on a shopping trip or do something fun. Unfortunately, you've kind of hit me in a weird time of my life. And it's going to sound very strange discussing this, because obviously you have gone into your conditions, and I see that this is potentially a public video, so I'm not going to go into what you've told me because it's quite frankly no one else's business. But what you are going through is horrible. It's, at least to me, it sounds like it's horrible. You know, it doesn't sound like it's easy. You've told me that you cheer yourself up by doing cameo challenges of requesting random 10-minute plus videos from folk I don't know. And you've had 16 really thoughtful and cool videos sent back, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I'm well up for having a chat and, you know, trying to make your day a little bit brighter. Not sure how, because I'm a bit of a miserable shit. But at the same time, I can't exactly be going out too far. So yeah, let's pretend that you are perfectly healthy and everything in your life is super fine. So when I tell you why I can't exactly take you out of the house, I don't sound like a whining little bitch. Because I'm sure that's probably how it's going to come across, given your situation is infinitely worse than what I'm currently in. Basically, rewind 40 odd years to before I was born. Okay, my dad was going to go and see my mum. He knew they were going to get some jiggy time, but he didn't want to embarrass himself and ejaculate too soon. Bear with me, there is a point to this. So what he did is he did what most people that age would tend to do. He had a quick wank. So he's feeling frisky, knocks a quick one off the wrist, shoots his load into a sock, off he goes on a date. Sees my mum, poor guy, he must be blind. And she's like, "Do you want to come upstairs?" And he's like, "Yeah, baby." They go upstairs and she's impressed because he can go all night. This guy's got stamina. Of course he can, because, you know, he's only just shot his load into a sock. And there's the problem. He sent the stockpiled good spunk into said sock, right? The reject spunk that was left over, the bits that couldn't quite get out of the tube in time for the first ejaculate, that's what got shot into mum, and that's what produced this fucking mess. So, last Friday, I gave birth to another kidney stone. I don't know whether you've ever had kidney stones before, but it really isn't fun. You are literally rolling around, screaming in pain, throwing up on yourself, and it's like this mucousy slime that you're throwing up. Crying, there's a lot of crying involved, and in my case there was an ambulance involved, and it really is horrendous. Not made much better by the fact that you've got a stupid little dog licking you the whole time. So you're on the floor and she's just there like, "Oh, I love you, daddy, I love you," and lick, 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 lick. And then you've got a cat that will occasionally come in and go, "You still being a prick? Dinner bowl's still empty. I'll give you I'll check back in 5 minutes. Getting hungry though, mate. All right." And he fucks off. Comes back again. Yeah. Stomach rumbling. Hear that? And it's just, oh. Meanwhile, the dog's still licking you. And you're like, "Oh, at least lick me arsehole. Give me a rim job while I'm going through all this." Anyway, I went to the hospital and they said I've got a few more kidney stones in my right kidney. I've got a left kidney stone in my left kidney. They believe I've got a stone in my liver from a gallbladder. I don't quite know how that works because I thought the gallbladder was lower, but I don't know. Apparently it's possible. And that on top of, I've got really bad acid reflux, which caused me to have an operation because they put a knot in my food pipe. They said if I don't get that knot, the stomach acid will either burn a hole in my esophagus or just give me cancer. So I didn't really have a choice on that one. But with all the vomiting, because once you have that knot, you can't physically be sick very easily anymore. On Friday, I was sick a lot, which means I've done damage there. So, in short, although I'm still moving around kind of thing, I'm in pain pretty much all the time. And I don't tend to go out of the house because another issue that I have is with everything misfiring in my body, it's sending the wrong signals to my stomach. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. Let's just say, and I'm not embarrassed to admit this because, I'm a grown man, things happen. Last year, I went to the post office, shit myself before I got home. I wish I was joking. It's literally 5 minutes from my house. I was walking back because it was a real hot day. I was walking back and I thought, this is a nice day. And suddenly I'm like, fuck! And it happened. No control. So yeah, I don't really leave the house that much unless I absolutely have to because I never know when my stomach issues are going to kick in. And at the moment, because of everything that happened Friday and I've jiggled everything around inside again, I don't feel too comfortable right now. And again, I do appreciate that this does make me sound like a whining little bitch, given everything that you yourself have to live with on a day-to-day basis. And I am sorry for that. Like even in hospital, they were like, we've got choices. You can go home and man up, just do it at home, or we can admit you. And I was very much like, I'm aware that people have got it worse than me. If you're saying that I can do this at home with pain medication, that's great. I'll go home and do it. And then a couple of days later, I was back in hospital because the pain medication wasn't working. And they started contradicting what they said the first time. And they were like, right, situation is now we can start again with all the tests. Or you can go home with some pain medication and man up. And they were really busy that day. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go home and I'll man up, I guess. I hate that saying so much. Because I write horror books as well, and some of the books feature violence towards women, people already say I'm a misogynist. And I'm like, if you read the rest of the books, it's the women beating the men up. But yeah, so when you say man up, it just makes you sound like a bigger misogynist, like men are stronger, Anyway, what they sent me home with, Lee, I'm guessing with all your drama, you may well know what this is. This is a butt plug tablet. You're supposed to just whazz it right up your bumhole. And the reason this one is not up my bumhole is they gave me 3 of these. Now, the last 2 times I've tried using it, I've had a tablet inserted into my rectum for about 10 minutes before I shit it straight back out again because of my stomach issues. And you're looking down in the bowl when you've got the usual sludge and sweet corn and bits of this. And you're like, right, this is the stuff that's supposed to be taking me out of all the pain and making me feel better. But clearly I've just shat it back out. So what's the fucking point in sticking it up my arse in the first time? Unless I'm feeling frisky and having a wank at the same time. Never say never. So now I'm just living off Oromorph. And again, wondering whether you would have ever tried that. If you struggle every day, mentally, psychologically, and emotionally, would they give Oromorph for that, or would they do all the antidepressant shit and everything? Because yes, I have done antidepressants as well, and they are just the most. They are depressing in themselves. I was on citalopram in my 20s when I was first struggling with my mental issues. So know that you are not alone with mental issues, struggling with thoughts and everything. I have a brain that tells me to kill myself pretty much every day. Last year I was cancelled online for being a misogynist. And apparently I beat my wife up My wife laughed at that one. My father-in-law just shook his head and he was like, she'd kick the shit out of you. I was like, yeah, I know she would. But, you know, people take drama online. They add their own slant to it and they try and make something in that isn't actually there. Then they take comments you've made beforehand. They take it out of context to make you even into a bigger bad guy. For example, I once said, no woman should be scared of a man. That apparently makes me a misogynist. When what I meant was, get off my Jaffa cakes, dog. What I meant was, in this day and age, no person should be scared of another person. We should be living in a more forgiving world where we can all get along and be happy and, you know, there's no fear. I'm not saying they don't have a right to be scared, because of course they do. Anyone has a right to be scared. A guy has a right to be scared of other guys. Women have a right to be scared of other women. It doesn't have to be all about opposite sex. This is Chewy. Took her to a convention once when I was doing a book signing, and she spent most of the day with Sid Haig, the guy that played the clown in that shit Rod Zombie film. Dog, I'm busy at the moment. I'm chatting with Lee. Also, Lee, sorry for delaying sending this, because you actually did... Dog, fuck off. You actually have... We cool? That was you. That was your fault. You didn't see that. You actually have the same name as my friend. I thought that when this video came through, I thought it was a piss take, you know, where it said, I don't actually know you. I thought it was my mate Lee being a dick. And then I saw your message on Facebook, and then you'd contacted me through my Big Cartel store as well. I don't use a proper website, I only use that one. But I mean, all that drama and all the crap of throwing the dog around, I've forgotten exactly what I was saying. Oh, antidepressants. Chewy, I'm sorry. That was an accident. Well, the cat's gone as well. I feel like shit now. Yeah, so I was on antidepressants and they put me on citalopram. And it stopped me from, you know, finishing. And I went to the doctors once and I said to him, I'm not really getting on with these antidepressants. He's like, why not? I said, I can't ejaculate, mate. He's like, what do you mean you can't ejaculate? I mean, I can play and play and play and play and get angrier and angrier and angrier because I cannot finish. There is no point to masturbation if you do not have the payoff. It's not a pleasurable act unless you have the payoff. And these pills were stopping me from doing that. And if you really try to, like, I was with a hooker once and I really tried to force it, and I shot blood everywhere in the end. And she was fucking freaked out. I was freaked out. I was like, shit, I've lost my penis. But yeah, so I don't really like antidepressants and things. But I'm guessing if you struggle mentally and psychologically and emotionally, then I'm guessing you probably have to deal with them quite a bit. And if that is the case, I do hope you found something that works for you, like these Cameo videos do. And I appreciate this is a very, very weird Cameo video. You know, as soon as I read it come through, you know, what was it? You put... Would I do the honour of joining this exclusive club of chatting with you? Of course, no problems. Maybe you take me to a sporting event you're attending with mates, or how about we go to retail therapy together? Be creative as you want. It's hard to be creative when you're stuck in your house, as I'm sure you're aware. So you just get me telling you weird stories about my dad whacking off and me throwing my dog around and talking about butt plug tablets, and everything just gets very, very weird. I've got a guitar. I should have got the guitar out and played it for you, except I can't play the guitar. And the dog's not learnt her lesson because here she is again. And everything's just fucking going wrong. And this is my life. Okay? So enough of your pity me party. Yes, I'm boring. Fine, I get it. Enough of your pity. Sort your shit out, Lee. You could have this. Yeah. You could have kidney stones. Okay? I'm just being a dick. I don't know where you go with all the stuff that you've got on. I don't know how things progress moving forward. I don't know whether it's something that you can beat. I know part of it obviously isn't. But I hope it can get easier to live with, if that is making much sense. Because I couldn't imagine, like I said, I couldn't imagine living with what you're going through on a day-to-day basis when, for all intents and purposes, I am healthier than others. So yeah, I feel like shit most of the time, but as you're aware yourself, other people have it so much worse. And it's never fair. Especially as it's always the nice people, the ones that don't deserve it are the ones that get the shit. Whereas the real arseholes in the world, they become billionaires and buy Twitter. Just as a vanity project. So yeah, it kind of is depressing on that side of things, but we don't really want to leave this on a down note, do we? But at the same time, we can't really leave it on a story of my dad jacking off or me throwing the dog off my lap either, so it's got to end somewhere. But you said 10 minute plus, and I have ranted at you for 15 minutes, 46 seconds. So, you know, I've done my end of the bargain. So now what you need to do is you need to find more things. This is serious now, dog. Cat, fuck off. Dog, stop. You need to find more things that make you smile and make you happy. I hope you find more cameo challenges to do. There is an actress on here that I've worked with in some of my films called Laura Wilson. She may be Laura Ellen Wilson on Cameo. I think she uses all three names because she's one of them posh twats. She is a bargain basement cameo like myself. You know, we're both cheapies. So you can always ask her to do a cameo as well, because she'd give it her all as well. And if you do, you can go, hey, Matt Shaw says you've got the most annoying fucking laugh in the world. You'll probably hear that laugh in the video, and it is fucking irritating. You know, I've worked with her on a few films now, and at the end of the day, when you want to switch off and all you hear is this fucking laugh, I promise you want to jump out of a window. But, you know, she's a lovely girl. She'll be up for the challenge of doing a cameo challenge for you to try and make you feel better. And she's recently moved out to America where she's pursuing the acting dream. In other words, she's a waitress. She's not. She's doing quite well. She's done like at least 5 porn films. She hasn't. It was 6. So she can take you out and about and show you the sights of LA if that's something that interests you. But yeah, I'm sorry that you hit a bum deal with this one, and fuck off, both of you. Are we done? Yeah, I'm sorry you hit a bum deal with this one, and I can't really get out and about very easily, but I hope some of this has at least brought a smile to your face. And I do genuinely hope that you find reasons to keep smiling, and more weird cameos from people. Anyway, thanks for reaching out. Like I say, I wish nothing but the best for you, and I genuinely mean that.